next presentation, I believe Stephen Brewer is to come up. Any of you know Steve Brewer? I don't know.
Well, I'm excited to see all of you here for a good, very good cause. Some of my, ready for this? Some of my fellow campers are here. No, not my campers, there's lots of you. My fellow campers when I was a camper. So if you're still capable of raising your hands, would you please come on. There are a few. So when we talk about camp generations, we're talking about when we got off the dinosaur at camp. We knew that we were here. We've been going here a long time. We watched the camp develop. We are still incredibly proud of what the camps represent. It was not always so. There were some years that were very difficult. Some of you may remember. We had changes of administration, we had changes in the office, etc. But somehow, the stars aligned 21 years ago. I'm not so much in astrology, but I might be convinced. In 1 month, 21 years ago, I hired 2 legends. The first I'll speak about in a moment, because I'm honored to honor him, and that's John Bard. And within 4 weeks later, I recruited Howard Kaplan. That's a month to be proud of, and I'm here felling about that tonight. Between them, they have locked in the quality, continuity of everything we do here, from the care of children to the care of our stomachs, to the care of our facilities, to the caring about people. So my job tonight, although I would love to praise Howard, I leave that to Steve Leader. My job is to praise the legendary John Bard. John, come over here. Let me embarrass you again.
I haven't said hello yet.
Don't thank me until I say some nice things about you.
It's going to be a roast.
It's not a roast. You do the roast better than I do the roast. Got it? Okay, John Bard came to us and somehow adopted us just as we adopted him. He brought with him excellent training. He is a remarkable chef, well-trained, changed our food habits, brought us a reputation of food, camp food, unmatched anywhere in the country. Brought with him a remarkable family who grew up here, and they are going to stand up right now so they can show us that they really are happy and proud.
My mother surprised us from Chicago. She's here for half the day. I told Doug I wasn't going to cry, but she's going to make me cry.
We're going to get the mic in a minute.
All right.
At any rate, John adopted us, I said. First we hired him as a chef. It's a big job. We have lots of different groups that come here all year round. We have a lot of different needs in the kitchen. We have a lot of fussy eaters. And they get fussier every year, right? But beyond that, he adopted the camp, and he has become responsible for the entire camp facility, largely for his rentals, for the care and feeding of all who come here. And he's done that with a great spirit, great elan, and with the help of a remarkable staff, many of whom are here. So would John's staff please stand up here? Raise your hands so we can wave. Wave. And the test of any good administrator, any of us, is that he has kept them for many years. And they enjoy working with and for him. Mostly. Well, none of us have it perfect. At any rate, John continues to grow in his work. He has a large catering practice, as you may have heard. We have lots of temple bar and bat mitzvahs taking place here, and lots of other life cycle events. And this year, he took over the care and the feeding of our day school at the Irmus campus, in addition to all that. So this is an entrepreneur in one place. We've watched him grow, his work grow, his family grow, and him grow.
I've been trying to keep it in, actually.
I am thankful for that interview 21 years ago. I am thankful for all of us to be here to say thank you to a really remarkable legend of our camps, John Bard.
All right. Now, Steve Brewer is the ultimate legend, you gotta say, right? Jesus. I'm glad Howard had a piece of paper. I have one too. I want to thank the Academy. I say that all the time. How many campers do I got out there? How many of my campers? Okay, I got a quick quiz. How long is my food good for? 10 minutes. 10 minutes. All right. Then what happens? It's old and dry and not very good. Right. And how long does it take to turn the ship? 3 days. No, it's a couple of 3 hours, I think is what it is. My dad was a captain in the Navy, and so I'm that kind of guy. So, see, I can't read with these glasses. I turned to Legend, and then Kaiser calls me and says, we want a bone density test. And I'm like, oh my God, really? All at one time? Jesus. 20 years ago, right? I mean, come on. 20 years ago, I worked at the Broadway Deli. Anybody remember the Broadway Deli on Broadway? Yeah. I had 5 sous chefs, a bakery department. I was working 6.5 days a week. My wife said I was green. Miranda was 1.5 years old, and we were pregnant with our second child. And so I was looking for, my wife said, let's find a job that you can be at home more, John, you know? Don't be a chef. So we sat down and we wrote a list of what I wanted in a job. And part of that list meant that I wanted to be part of a community, that I wanted to be respected, that I wanted to be appreciated. And I literally answered an ad in the paper. And I was throwing out resumes, and somebody called me up and said, we have this unique position in Malibu. You have to, it's very North Malibu, go check it out. So I drove up here. I'd never been past Pepperdine. I drove up here. I hadn't been past Pepperdine. I drove up here, and I walked into the kitchen right here, and I remember Felipe Cernas. He was sitting at the desk with his feet up, reading the paper. He looked the same then too. And he said, the chef's at Hilltop. So I'm like, all right, where's Hilltop? Well, you go up gate 4 and around the corner. All right. So I drove up to Hilltop, and I fell in love with the place. I'm like, oh no, I'm not leaving. There's no way. Where do I get this job? So the next day I went to Steve Brewer to the temple. So I walk into this dark room, into the back corner with Steve Brewer sitting at his desk. John, come in. John, John, sit down. You have the job. Don't worry. Kiss the ring, John. Kiss the ring. It was totally like that. I was so scared. So I moved in Thanksgiving '94. Yeah, and we moved into the house, and there was nothing going on. The first month, there was nothing going on. It was the first El Nino, and it rained and rained and rained. The creek was running, and it would take a right turn by our house. It was like a freight train. And we were sitting in the house, and I had nothing to do. I'm like, this is the best job in the world. How do I get this job? You know? And the first event we did was the Traditional Music Society. They were here for New Year's, '94. And they had banjos and violins and stuff like that, and it was just great. And they had the silent auction, like the old school kind of silent auction where you went and like check off for these stupid stuff. It was just incredible. But we were just loving life, right? Then Howard Kaplan came along. I got that on him, right? I was a month before him. But together, Howard and I worked on the facility. I think as Steve said, we were a new beginning of the facility. Howard brought in the ropes course. Howard brought in the facilities. He's a USC, got a master's in USC in business. So when you go into his office and you see the plaque on the wall, and I'm like from the Culinary Institute of America, I get a little, nervous, when you try to, present something to him. But together, I worked on the food, the hospitality. He worked on the infrastructure, and I think we did great. First year, of course, Doc Howie has 2 daughters like I do, and they're very, very successful, and I've really kind of modeled my daughters. Not modeled, but I've been like, oh, Doc's got this down, man. I got to check this out. What do you do, Doc? What do you do? So he did that. Steve Leader, there he is. Steve Leader had dark brown hair. He had hair, and it was dark brown. And he's a fellow Minnesotan. Let me tell you, I'm from Duluth. And they raise him well in Duluth, let me tell you, in Minnesota. And he was gracious enough to be the person that named Nicole Bard, who cannot be here tonight, unfortunately, but that first summer. And him and I used to shoot off bottle rockets on Brewer Lawn before on Fitch Field before it had grass. Thank you, Greg Epstein. And we were young. We had a great time, man. We had no responsibility. It was just awesome, Karen Fox, where's old Karen Fox? Her and I bonded on a level, as we were talking tonight, of living at camp, living at camp and knowing what it's like to live here. It's a beautiful place, but you're out here, 7 miles from any reality. So, and we're really going to miss her now that she's retiring this year, and we love you a lot. And then Mr. Eschel came along. Where's Mr. Eschel? I got stories about Mr. Eschel, let me tell you. He's been a good friend, a spin partner over the summer. These times we're trying to keep that weight off. We've been doing well. God bless you. And then Rabbi Shapiro. Where's Rabbi Shapiro? Who's always driven a BMW, since he was about 16 years old. What's it say on the license plate? Nothing anymore? Oh, thank God. All right. I'm almost through, guys. I'm almost through. Here we go. Mr. Greg Epstein came along. He was 13 when I met him. Where is Greg Epstein? There's Mr. Epstein. Greg Epstein has been like this since day one. When he was 13 years old, he was talking about, you guys should do this, you guys should do that. His bar mitzvah was garden themed. Does everybody know that? I mean, he has been a gardener, or not a gardener, a landscaper, excuse me, a landscape architect. I don't know whatever it is. I'm now culinary director, okay? That's what I'm calling myself, what the hell. But there's been, there's so many people there. Like, I walked around, I was telling somebody, I was like, I know everybody here. It's like, crazy. And it's just been a wonderful community. I'm just so blessed. I also want to give a big shout out to my staff who has put up with me forever and ever. They're wonderful. because I'll hold it in for a long time and then I just go off, you know. And so I just feel like, you know, I just say, oh yeah, we can do that, we can do that, we can do that. I never say no. And sometimes I go, oh, I should have said no. But they pull it off each and every day, and I really, really appreciate it. Felipe Cernas has been here longer than I have. Patty Mendoza has been here longer than I have. You know, and all the gang has been here a long, long time, and I'm really, really blessed to have them. I'm not going to cry, Doug. I'm right on the edge, though, baby. Who else I got to talk about? I got to talk about Maria Brewer, of course. Everybody knows Maria Brewer, right? Yeah, I would not be successful without Maria Brewer. About 10, maybe 15 years, 12, I don't know. It goes by so quick. I said, just go out there and just go out there and make sure they're happy. That's all I want. I'm too busy back here making sure it's right. Go out there and make sure they're happy. And she's done that, you know, and she's done it year and year. One time she missed an event, and my staff is like, what does she do? What does she do? I don't get what she does. She missed an event, and the place like crumbled. And they're all like, oh, I see what she does now. I see what she does. I forgot Rabbi Ben-Aim, but I do love her. Where is she? Rabbi Ben-Aim told me that I should do the school lunch program at the Irma's campus. Thank you very much. And she's really driven that, and I really appreciate that. We've been friends a long time. And I think it's going to be successful. I'm really excited about it. I really am. It's nice to be out there in the world. I hate the frickin' drive, but you know. You know, I'm like, go out, the waves are rocking. I'm like, why did I say yes? Why did I do that? And my family, of course, my mother shows up tonight. Hey, I'm from Chicago. I'll be here about 3 hours. And my brother Andrew, who is also a CIA grad. My sister-in-law and brother-in-law, my mother-in-law and father-in-law, who now live up here, thank God. We'll get to see them more often. And they don't get out much, so please say hi to them, okay? Who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting one most important person, my wife. I already got that on here. My wife, who is really the one, you know, no one ever sees her. Like somebody said tonight, oh, I met your wife, you know? You know, nobody ever sees her, but she knows exactly what's going on in every move, and she'll give your opinion on everything. And God bless her, and she's always right, even though I always say, shut up, it's not right. But then I come around the next day, I'm like, all right, you're right, you're right, you're right. But, you know, when I wrote that list, I was like, this is beyond my wildest dreams. I mean, all my dreams came true. All of them. Everything on that list came true. And I'm like, really? You know, my kids would not be who they are today. Now I'm going to cry. Without all you guys. They got to go to camp. I mean, I'd be at Santa Monica somewhere. You know, working 14 hours a day somewhere where I couldn't drive home for 5 minutes and say, hey, how you doing? You need some help on your homework? So, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to cry.
I just want to quickly